You just woke up with a massive headache. You look at your hands. You are wearing a strange burgundy robe. It is the year 1633. Congratulations. You are now Galileo Galilei. You are 70 years old, and you happen to be the most famous scientist in the entire world. Your ultimate goal in this survival game is simple. Prove that the Earth revolves around the Sun and change cosmic science forever. But there is a massive problem. The most powerful institution on the planet, the Roman Inquisition, absolutely hates your cosmic theories. If you make one wrong move, your scientific legacy will be erased, and you will be silenced for the rest of your life. To survive, you must navigate a dangerous maze of politics and science. Rule number 1, never directly insult the Pope's intelligence. Rule number 2, always pretend your groundbreaking astronomical discoveries are just fun mathematical hypotheses, not absolute reality. It is a tricky balance. Let us rewind a bit. You look at the desk in front of you. There is a simple brass tube with glass lenses. This is your ultimate weapon, the telescope. Back in 1610, you pointed this exact tool at the night sky and looked at Jupiter. What you saw changed everything. You discovered 4 tiny moons orbiting the giant planet. They were moving around Jupiter, not the Earth. This was undeniable proof that not everything in the universe revolves around our planet. The geocentric model was completely shattered. You thought the world would thank you for this incredible scientific truth. Instead, you just made some very powerful people extremely angry. Suddenly, there is a loud knock on your heavy wooden door. The Inquisition's messengers have arrived at your quiet home in Florence. They hand you an official letter. You are being summoned to Rome to stand trial for your dangerous heliocentric ideas. You pack your bags and your manuscripts. The cosmic survival game has officially begun. Will your science survive the courtroom? Let's find out. You arrive in Rome in 1633. The city feels massive, and you feel incredibly small. How did things get this bad? It all started with a book. And rule number 3 of cosmic survival, never accidentally call the most powerful man in Europe a fool. Meet Pope Urban VIII. Before he wore the big hat, his name was Maffeo Barberini, and he was actually a huge fan of your science. In fact, he was the one who encouraged you to write a massive book comparing the Earth-centered universe with the Sun-centered universe. He only had one strict condition. You must treat both theories as equal hypotheses, and you must include his personal arguments in the text. So, you wrote your masterpiece, the dialogue concerning the 2 chief world systems, published in 1632. It was structured as a debate. You created 3 characters, a smart guy defending the sun-centered model, a neutral listener, and a traditional guy defending the Earth-centered model. But you made a massive tactical error. You named the traditional guy Simplicio, which basically translates to simpleton or the village idiot. To make matters infinitely worse, you took the exact cosmic arguments the Pope had personally given you and put them directly into Simplicio's mouth. When the Pope read your book, he did not laugh. He felt totally humiliated. He thought his favorite scientist had just publicly mocked him. Which brings us back to Rome. The Pope is no longer your friend. He is under extreme political pressure, and he needs to show his authority. The giant, heavy doors of the Roman Inquisition finally creak open. You step inside, clutching your astronomical notes with shaking hands. You are not just facing a scientific debate. You are facing charges of vehement suspicion of heresy. The penalty for losing is absolute silence. The Chief Inquisitor holds up a copy of your dialogue. He glares down at you from his elevated desk, waiting for your defense. You have 2 choices. Defend the truth of the cosmos and risk losing everything, or lie to save your own life. What is your move? You refuse to lie. The room goes deadly silent. The Inquisitor leans forward, his shadow engulfing you. He speaks one word: heresy. You frantically flip through your pages, pointing at the diagrams. It is not heresy, you argue. It is just math. Nature does not care about opinions. The Inquisitor scoffs. Math? Math is just a tool, Galileo. The Church defines reality, and you have defied the Church. You see, this is not just about stars. Europe is currently bleeding in the 30 Years' War. The Pope is desperate to keep his power base secure. With Protestants rising up and attacking the Church's authority everywhere, the Pope cannot afford to look weak. And you just gave his enemies a weapon. The judges are not acting on their own. They are acting for the Pope. And the Pope wants to make an example out of you. You realize your mistake. Simplicio. You put the Pope's own words in the mouth of a simpleton. You basically called him an idiot in print. The Inquisitor reads a passage aloud, his voice dripping with sarcasm. Simplicio here thinks the tides are caused by magic, Galileo. Did you write this? It hits you. It wasn't about the science. It was about the insult. You were a genius scientist, but you were a terrible politician. You try to speak, your voice shaking. Your Eminence, I only wanted to teach the truth. I meant no disrespect to His Holiness. The Inquisitor doesn't blink. Disrespect is a matter of interpretation, Galileo. And the interpretation of the Church is the only one that matters. You are completely alone. No one can help you now. The weight of the world, or at least the weight of the Church, is crushing you. There are other rooms in this building, Galileo. Rooms where people find their faith very quickly. Would you like to see one? Panic rises in your chest. You are 70 years old. You are not a martyr. You are a scientist. You want to finish your work. You have one last chance to save your life. Will you recant your work and save your skin, or die for a theory no one believes? You look at the two options. Your pride screams to defend the truth, but your survival instinct takes over. You smash the "lie to survive" button. The glowing red warning signs disappear. The Chief Inquisitor leans back, a cold smile forming on his face. You just played right into their hands. They strip away your respected scholar's robes and force you into a plain, scratchy white penitent shirt. It is the ultimate public humiliation. June 22nd, 1633. You are forced to kneel in front of the entire congregation. They hand you a script you must read aloud. I, Galileo Galilei, abjure, curse, and detest my errors. You are forced to publicly state that the earth does not move. Every word feels like swallowing glass. You are officially denouncing the greatest scientific discovery of your lifetime just to keep breathing. The Church officials nod in satisfaction. As far as they are concerned, the geocentric model is safe, and science has surrendered to authority. The ceremony ends. You slowly stand up, your old joints aching. But according to legend, as you rise, you mutter a tiny phrase, "Eppur si muove," and yet it moves. You might have lied to the judges, but you cannot lie to the universe. Your life is spared, but the punishment is severe. The judge strikes his gavel. You are sentenced to strict house arrest for the rest of your life. Furthermore, your masterpiece, the dialogue, is officially banned. A giant red stamp marks it forbidden. The Church tries to erase your ideas. Guards escort you out of Rome. You are sent back to a small villa in Arcetri, near Florence. You are a prisoner in your own home. You arrive at your rustic prison. The doors lock behind you. You are 70 years old, your health is failing, and you are completely isolated. You sit alone in the dim light. Most people would just give up and wait for the end. The Inquisition thinks they have broken you, but they forgot one crucial thing. They locked up the man, but they forgot to lock up his mind. And you still have a quill. You are confined to your villa, and your health is rapidly deteriorating. To make matters even worse, your eyesight is completely failing you, but your mind is sharper than ever. You are secretly writing a brand new manuscript, the discourses on two new sciences. Instead of looking up at the stars, you look down at the Earth. You decide to write the ultimate foundational rule book for modern physics. You mathematically explain how objects fall and how structures hold together. It is pure, undeniable physics that the Inquisition cannot easily argue against. But there is a massive roadblock. The Church did not just ban your cosmic book, they banned everything you would ever write. Inquisition guards are constantly patrolling outside your heavy wooden door. Publishing this brand new scientific masterpiece anywhere inside Italy is absolutely impossible. So, you pivot to a stealth mission. You must smuggle your life's final work out of the country before you fade away. You wrap the thick stack of parchment in ordinary cloth. You entrust it to a visiting Dutch merchant who supports the scientific revolution. He carefully sneaks the heavy manuscript past the sleeping Inquisition guards, tiptoeing quietly through the dark courtyard of your Tuscan prison villa. The manuscript begins a long, secret journey across Europe. It travels hidden inside horse carriages, moving far away from the Pope's authority. Finally, it reaches the city of Leiden in the Netherlands. This is a place where the Roman Inquisition has zero political power. In 1638, a brave publisher named Louis Elzevir prints your final masterpiece. The printing press stamps the pages, securing your ultimate legacy. When the freshly printed book is finally released to the public, it becomes an instant intellectual sensation across the entire European scientific community. You are now completely blind, sitting in your quiet room in Italy. But when a friend whispers the news to you, you smile. You might be a prisoner in the dark, but your brilliant ideas are now shining brightly across the world. You just won the game. In 1642, at the age of 77, you finally leave the game. You pass away peacefully in your small villa, completely blind but victorious. Your physical body is gone, but your ideas are immortal. They escape the locked doors of your prison and spread across Europe like wildfire. The book you smuggled out, Two New Sciences, becomes the ultimate textbook for the next generation. You single-handedly laid the foundation for modern physics. And in a beautiful cosmic coincidence, the very same year you passed away, a brand new player spawned in England. Enter Isaac Newton. Equipped with a massive wig and an incredibly huge brain, he picks up exactly where you left off. He reads your smuggled book on physics. He takes your rules about how objects fall on Earth and combines them with the cosmos. He proves that the exact same invisible force pulling an apple to the ground is the exact same force keeping the moon in orbit. Universal gravitation. Thanks to your groundwork, the game you started just evolved into a completely new, mathematically perfect cosmic era. Centuries pass. Generations of scientists build upon your foundation. The geocentric model is completely abandoned, and the Church's cosmic authority fades away. It took a very, very long time. But eventually, even your biggest historical enemies had to admit defeat. In 1992, precisely 359 years after your trial, the Vatican officially issued an apology and agreed that you were right all along. The Earth moves. It always has, and it always will. Nature does not care about politics, threats, or human egos. Your tiny brass tube evolved into massive space observatories, and eventually into giant golden mirrors peering into the very dawn of time. Every time humanity looks up at the stars, maps a new galaxy, or understands the true nature of the cosmos, they are playing your game. You lost your freedom, Galileo, but in the end, you won the universe. Your time as Galileo is officially over. You survived the Inquisition, but more importantly, your ideas survived the test of time. You wake up back in the present day, sitting on the time throne. You wipe the sweat from your forehead. That was incredibly close. What did we learn from playing as Galileo? The greatest lesson is that the universe does not care about human authority or our fragile egos. Science is the ultimate survival tool because it relies purely on evidence. If the evidence changes, you must change your mind. That is the rule. Today, we do not have an inquisition threatening astronomers, but we do have massive new mysteries that challenge everything we know about the cosmos. Things like dark matter and dark energy make up 95% of the universe, and we have absolutely no idea what they actually are. The question is, when the next big scientific revolution happens, will you be the one defending the truth? Or will you be the Inquisition? That is the beauty of history. It tests us. Thank you for playing this episode of The Time Throne, where we survive history's craziest moments. If you enjoyed surviving the Inquisition, hit that subscribe button. It is the only way to power up the throne for our next time jump. I want to hear from you. Who do you want to wake up as next? A pharaoh? A Roman emperor? A Viking? Let me know in the comments. Could you survive leading ancient Egypt when the Nile stops flooding and everyone wants your head? We will see. Until next time, keep your eyes on the stars and try not to get arrested by the Inquisition. Goodbye.
Time Throne's Doodle Outro. Thanks for watching. Click to travel. Next video, more history. Watch another scenario.
Time Throne's Doodle Outro. Next video, more history. Thanks for watching. Click to travel.